Hello, welcome to Target IAS. I am Prakash Rajput. So we will be continuing with the power electronics next topic, that is power semiconductor devices. Power semiconductor devices. Now this topic is also there in analog, the semiconductor devices, in which you learn about different type of semiconductor devices like diodes, BJT, MOSFET, right? So, but in power electronics and that analog electronics, there is a difference. Here, these devices are mainly used for switching purposes. In power electronics, in power electronics, wait, the devices, the semiconductor devices, if I write, the semiconductor devices are mainly utilized as switch. These are mainly utilized as switches. But in case of analog electronics, they can be used as switch or as amplifier. Because in case of BJT and MOSFET, there will be some three regions in which two regions are like saturation and cutoff, where the these devices can be called as working as in switch mode. Like for saturation it is on, and for cutoff it is off, and in the active region we will say it is working like a amplifier. So basically in power electronics we will be using these devices in saturation and cutoff region. Okay, so that's why we are saying that we will be utilizing the semiconductor devices in as switches only, right? So what and for switches we will see uh, like how much power they can handle and what are their speed of switching. Speed of switching means how fastly they turn on or how fastly they turn off. Based on that we will see. Okay, so the these power devices or these power electronic devices, we can say, the they handle very large amount of power. They handle very large amount of power with higher efficiency. With high efficiency, this is basically the main advantage of using these devices, power electronics. So now I will write what are the power semiconductor devices which we are going to talk about. So first one will be power diode is one. Okay, so and the other one is SCR, silicon control rectifier, also known as, popularly known as thyristor, right? And after that in the SCRs category there will be light activated SCR, light activated SCR. There will be asymmetrical SCR, asymmetrical SCR. These are devices basically similar to SCR. Then there will be a reverse conducting thyristor, reverse conducting thyristor. And there will be GTO, gate turn off thyristor, GTO, gate turn off thyristor. So this is like the thyristor family, right? After that there will be uh, bipolar devices which can conduct in both the sides, such as triac and diac. Okay, and after that there will be power transistor. Power transistor. In power transistors, power transistor. In power transistor, what is that? Power BJT, power BJT, power MOSFET, and IGBT. IGBT is what? Insulated gate bipolar transistor. Insulated gate bipolar transistor, IGBT. So the main thing in these many devices is that they are having some special category, so which make them which make them usable in certain type of application, like the power diode and SCR have high power handling capability. These will be having high power handling capability, right? These devices will be having high power handling capability. So these devices can be will be able to handle high power. Okay, but I talked about two aspects of switches. One was their high power handling capability, and the other one was the switching speed. So we cannot get both at the same time. There is basically some limitation on the switching speed. Then, as these devices are uh, uh, available for high power handling capability, then their speed must be of slow. Okay, their speed of switching must be slow, because we cannot get both at the same time, because nothing in this nothing is there which we call it as ideal, because like, so we can only get what, either we can get the higher power handling capability, or we can get a faster switching speed. Okay, so and after that, these the thyristor family, these light activated SCR, ASCR, these will be having some certain speciality. We will talk in detail about them. After that, in this uh, power transistor family, the power BJT, power MOSFET, IGBT, these will be having, these will be all obviously used in switching mode only, because they are used in analog as amplifier also, right? But here they are only used as a switching mode. So these will be having some higher frequency of switching. Okay, so higher, we can say for these devices, switching is fast. Switching is fast. So obviously they will be having low power capability. Obviously they will be having low power capability. Low power, it does not mean that they are on the analog level. No, low power, it's somewhat lower than the SCR. Okay, so low power handling capability of them, they will be used where high switching speed is more uh, priority. High switching speed is more priority. In case of choppers, we will be using this power BJT MOSFET devices, and if we want both the advantages of BJT and MOSFET, then we will be using this IGBT. Okay, so and for the we can say there is the this power MOSFET is the uh, most high speed device among all. So it is, this power MOSFET is very high speed device. High speed device means what? Means its switching speed is very fast. Switching is very fast. Okay, switching is very fast. So when there is requirement of high switching, very high switching, this power MOSFET will be used. Now you can see that this MOSFET, BJT, or the diode is used in analog also, right? So to differentiate with the analog and the power electronics, we have used the term power in the name of there, in the name of uh, them, right? I have written what power BJT, power MOSFET, or power diode, just to differentiate it with the analog one. Okay, so as you see that the subject name is power electronics, and electronics what that dealing with the low power and very high switching speed. So here we are talking about power electronics, so obviously high power, right? So these are the devices which we are going to talk about. Now I have told that these devices are going to be work like what? Switches. So we should know about switches first. Okay, so what are the switches, or what are their types? So there are basically three types of switches. First is uncontrolled switch. Uncontrolled switch. What is uncontrolled switch? So if you see a diode, if you see a diode, what is that? If I apply positive on the P terminal and negative on the N terminal, then this diode is what? Forward bias. This diode is what? Forward bias. It will start conducting. It will start conducting, right? Now it will start conducting just as we apply this potential difference across it, right? So I cannot control the amount of the where I want to uh, make this diode as on. It will immediately turn on when when it is forward bias. So it is like a uncontrolled switch, right? Then there comes a semi controlled switch. Semi controlled switch. Semi controlled switch. Semi controlled switch, in this we have to we have like a thyristor. Okay, thyristor means SCR. So SCR is a three terminal device basically. Okay, one anode, cathode, and gate. So here this gate is the terminal which is the controlling the thyristor. That is, if we give a gate signal, then only this thyristor is going to be turned on. So we can control it. Okay, so as soon as I apply forward bias to this thyristor, it will not turn on unless I will give a gate signal, or we will see in what categories or in what parameters this thyristor is going to turn on. So it is like a semi controlled switch. Why semi controlled now? Oh, as soon as it's turned on, we cannot control uh, we cannot do we cannot make it off condition. We cannot make it in off condition by applying gate signal. तो हमने गेट सिग्नल दे करके इसको ऑन तो करवा दिया, बट हम गेट सिग्नल दे करके इसको ऑफ नहीं कर सकते. So that's why it is semi controlled switch. Okay, that's why it is semi controlled switch. Now there is fully controlled switch. Other one is fully controlled switch. So as the name says, fully controlled means what? We can control anything for this. We can control its on time, we can control its off time. By time I mean we can make it off by giving gate signal. So fully controlled switch we can consider like GTO. In GTO the name itself says is it is gate turn off thyristor. It is gate turn off thyristor. So I'm making a symbol of GTO here. For the GTO there is a cut signal on the gate part. Okay, so this is a GTO. So if we forward bias it and we apply gate signal, we will turn on this GTO. And if we want to turn off this GTO, we can make it by using by giving a gate signal of opposite polarity. We will see in that in GTO part. We will see in detail this GTO. Okay, so this is like a fully controlled switch, as we can control its on, how it can be turned on and how it can be turned off. So it is like a fully controlled switch, right? There can be other things also, GTO, BJT, right, MOSFET. These also can be work like fully controlled switch. Now we'll see modes of switches, in what modes the switch can work. So if you have a switch, so let us represent a switch like this. If we are having a switch, this is its anode terminal, this is its cathode terminal. So I am showing the direction here in this direction. So if I apply like this, if I apply potential difference like this, so here you know that VAK, V anode to cathode, is positive, and if current is flowing in this direction, then it will be said to be in forward conduction mode. So there are basically four modes of switch. Four modes. There are basically four modes of switch. What are that? So if I apply this positive at anode and negative at cathode, so if we can say, if VAK is positive, if VAK is positive, then switch is in and it is not conducting. Okay, it is not conducting right now. So we can basically what say that here is some controlling terminal which is controlling its on and off. So it is not conducting, just it is forward bias. So we can say that it is in forward blocking mode. Forward blocking mode, right? Because it is not conducting, it is just forward bias. Okay, so it is in forward blocking mode. Now if this gate is given a signal and it makes it like to make the flow of current in this direction from anode to cathode, from anode to cathode. So if the current is flowing from anode to cathode, then we can say that if IA is positive, then we can say that this switch is in forward conduction mode. Forward conduction mode, right? So now if we do the opposite, if we do the opposite, we give positive here and negative here, that is VAK becomes negative. So we can say that it is in reverse blocking mode. Okay, current is not flowing in this case, current is not flowing in this case, so it is in reverse blocking mode. Now if we make this device to have a flow of current in this direction, so here if I say that this is minus IA, because I have taken IA in the right side direction, anode to cathode, this is going from cathode to anode. So here IA is negative. So this mode is called reverse conduction mode. Reverse conduction mode. So these are the four modes that are present in switch. Okay, not all four modes are present in every switch. We will see what modes are present in a switch like SCR, what modes are present in a switch like power diode or in BJT or MOSFET. Okay, these are basically four modes that will be there in switch. So either they will be one mode, two mode, three mode, or maybe four mode. All four modes will also be present in maybe one of the devices. Okay, so all devices need not to support these four modes. Okay, so let us see one by one what will be the characteristics of ideal and practical switches for forward blocking mode. So here is my switch. Okay, this is my switch, and this is anode and this is cathode, and I have applied positive here and negative here. So for a ideal switch, For an ideal switch, if I make vi characteristics, if I make for ideal switch, then for ideal switch there will be no flow of current through this switch. There will be no flow of current through this switch. So only vf will be present on the axis. So if I make this is ia and this is vak, so as vak is positive, is somewhat here, so for ideal this point will be here, somewhat of value like if I write that I have applied, suppose let's say vf. Okay, so this point will be what, vf comma 0, right? So but this is in the case of ideal, but as you know that nothing is ideal, right? As you know that nothing is ideal. So for a practical switch, what happen is there will be some leakage current flowing through it. There will be some leakage current flowing through the switch. So if we make a point on the graph, it will be of somewhat here. Okay, it will be of somewhat here because there will be some value of leakage current, you can say some value of leakage current will be there. So due to this leakage, what happens if it is not following the ideal condition and there is a leakage current, a small leakage current that will be passing in its off state. Right now the switch is in off state, so it leads to losses. Okay, so this is known as blocking power loss. This is known as blocking power loss, and it can be found out by leakage current multiplied with the voltage applied in this state. Okay, so voltage applied, so as I have written vf, so it will be vf voltage applied. I can write it as vf, right? So I have made this as like a point. If I write vf comma some leakage current, let's say il. Okay, so due to this leakage current there will be blocking power loss in the switch, right? So now which device will support this mode? Which device will support this mode? This will be supported by like scr because it is having gate, right? And we can control when it will be getting when it will be getting turned on. But in case of diode we cannot control this, because as soon as you apply forward bias to the diode, it will be going to turn on. So diode will be not supporting this forward blocking mode. Diode will be not supporting this forward blocking mode. Okay, now we'll see the second mode, that is forward conduction mode. Now the switch is in conducting mode, so there is a flow of current. There is flow of current. This is my anode and this is cathode, and current is flowing in this direction. Okay, so if I say this switch is ideal, then if I draw the vi graph, so for this here vak and here ia. So let's say as I have written the vf earlier, so let's say this as if. Okay, forward current, just to say if. So it will be where, as this switch is ideal, there will be no voltage across it. There is no resistance for this switch, so there is no voltage drop across it. So for ideal switch, this is the point. What I can write for this, 0 comma if, right? But as you know that nothing is ideal, so it will be having some voltage drop across it because it will be having some forward resistance. So practically क्या होगा, practically forward resistance will be there. So due to this forward resistance there will be voltage drop. So we can say practically forward resistance will be there will be there for switch. So voltage drop voltage drop occurs in on state in on state. सो वोल्टेज ड्रॉप अकर हो रहा है, सो इसका मतलब है ये पॉइंट इस आई ए एक्सिस पर ना होकर के समवट हेयर होगा, राइट, समवट हेयर in forward conduction. So this value will be what? Voltage drop across the switch because of this forward resistance, right? And due to this voltage drop, what happens? There will be losses again. So these are known as conduction losses. These are known as conduction losses, right? So if I write this as conduction power loss due to voltage drop voltage drop in on state, right? So अब now they are these conduction power loss are more as compared to blocking power loss. ठीक है, power loss conduction power losses more are more as compared to ब्लॉकिंग पावर लॉस. जो ब्लॉकिंग पावर लॉस जो ब्लॉकिंग मोड में हो रहे थे, फॉरवर्ड ब्लॉकिंग मोड में हो रहे थे, उनसे ज्यादा है ये वाले कंडक्शन पावर लॉसेस. ओके, सो और इन लॉसेस को ओवरऑल जो टर्म बोला जाता है, बेसिकली दीज आर कॉल्ड एज स्विचिंग लॉसेस. These are called as switching losses because what happens is when you do switching, it will be going from on to off position and off to on position. Okay, so in that case there will be losses because there will be transition in currents and voltages, right? You are going from on to off position, so due to this transition the value gets change of currents and voltages. So due to that there will be losses in the switching of these devices, right? Now let's see about the reverse blocking mode. So in reverse blocking mode, if I make the switch, then the switch is like this here, anode, cathode. So I will apply negative potential now. VAK will become negative. So if I make the VI curve, or not the curve, basically I am just plotting the point. So if I make this on the graph, so where will be the value of VAK? Here the VAK is negative. Here the VAK is negative, right? So for an ideal switch, same for ideal switch, there will be no current flowing through it. There will be no current flowing through it. So this is like I have made ideal condition. And for a practical switch, what happens? There will be some value of leakage current. There will be some value of leakage current, and that leakage current will be now where it will be negative. So it will be, the point will be here. Okay, so this is for practical. This point is for practical. So I can also write this value like this will be what? VR comma 0, and here the value of VR, some value of leakage current. Here this leakage current is negative. Leakage current is negative. Okay, as you can see from the this graph, right? Now similarly we can talk about also here also there will be losses which are called as blocking power loss only, because this is right now the switch is also in what? Blocking mode only. So as due to the leakage current there will be blocking power loss, right? So now the last mode is what? Reverse conduction mode. So this will be also similar to forward conduction mode, just that there will be flow of current in opposite direction. There will be flow of current in opposite direction. So if I make the switch close, like here is my switch, and it is having anode here, cathode here, but the current which is flowing is in this direction, right? So I can write this as IR. So if I plot this on graph, so IR will be where? It will be here. So if I make for an ideal switch, again this point will come like what? Wait, this point will be somewhat here. So I can write this as 0 IR, right? This is for ideal. And for practical, what happens? There will be some voltage drop. There will be some voltage drop. So as this is in a reverse conduction mode, तो on state voltage drop जो होगा वो negative होगा. On stage voltage drop will be negative, right? On state voltage drop will be negative. So the practical point will be somewhat here. The practical point will be somewhat in the third quadrant, right? Due to this, we can say what? This is the voltage drop, right? This is voltage drop because of the reverse resistance, because it is having some resistance in practical conditions. Okay, so these are the four modes. Now there is a device that supports all of these modes. That device is triac. That device is triac. This triac supports all the four modes. This triac supports all the four modes. It will be having forward conduction, forward blocking, reverse conduction, reverse blocking. ठीक है? So this is the only device that supports all the four modes. Now let us see a circuit here. Here some AC supply is given by this switch, via this switch to this load. Okay, so this is basically I'm giving an idea about the forward blocking and the all the four modes basically. So let's say in the first cycle the Vs is here shown. Okay, in the first cycle from 0 to pi, let's say this switch is in forward blocking state. This switch is in forward blocking state. So what it means that here will be positive and here it will be negative, right? As you can see, the Vs is like this only, right? So in forward blocking state, it will not allow the current to flow through it. So the voltage across the load will not be will be zero. So all the voltage uh, here of Vs will come across what? Come across the switch. Okay, so it will be something like this. After that, what happens is the switch is turned on. So up to this state, the switch is in forward blocking mode. So up to this state, the switch is in forward blocking mode. After that, the switch is turned on. Voltage across it will become zero. Voltage across it becomes zero, and the voltage will come directly across the load. When it is conducting, the voltage will come across the load directly, right? So all the voltage that is here will be across the load like this, right? After that, what is happening? It is and this mode was forward conduction. Okay, and this mode was forward conduction, because in this it is allowing the passage of current. So this mode was forward conduction. After that, it comes in reverse blocking mode. Now the polarities are reversed. Voltage polarities are reversed. So now this is in reverse blocking mode, and it is not allowed to pass the current. That is why it is in what? It is in reverse blocking mode. So how the VAK will be there? It will be in opposite direction. It will be same as VS, like this, right? After that, and this was, I can write it as uh, reverse blocking mode. This was reverse blocking mode up to here, right? And after that, what happens? After that, this is allowed to pass the current, so the voltage across it will be 0, and all the voltage will come across the load, like this. So this is reverse conduction mode. The current flowing will be in opposite direction here. Current flowing here will be in opposite direction. The polarity of voltage also for the load is opposite, right? So this is reverse conduction mode. This is reverse conduction mode. So also here you can see one point, that it is working like a AC voltage controller, right? Because here I have given the supply AC and the output is also alternating only, but the value of the uh, V naught, the RMS value, we have we can say that it is changed, right? So here in this circuit, the AC to AC controller, it is basically, this circuit is basically what? AC to AC controller, and the switch present here will be triac. Okay, so also you can say that for AC to AC conversion, AC to AC conversion, switch has to support all four modes. Switch has to support all the four modes. Switch has to support all the four modes. And by varying this value of alpha, we can change the RMS value, or we can control the AC output, right? So this is basically, the AC to AC controllers are not there in syllabus, so just a brief introduction about that. You can just have an idea about the AC to AC controller. Okay, AC to AC converter. So for AC to AC converter, basically we need all the four modes in the switch. Okay, all the four modes are required for the switch, in the switch. Also one more thing, that there should be the output should be like that, that the average should be 0 for AC to AC. Okay, the average should be 0. So it means that the amount of blocking in forward blocking, that same amount should be here in reverse blocking. That's why this alpha, this alpha should be same here. Okay, here pi plus alpha should be there, and here alpha should be there. Otherwise the average will change, and it will be having some DC component, which is not required for AC to AC converters. Okay, now we'll see requirements of a switch. Required for a requirement of switch, what means that for different types of converter, what are the requirements? So just now we have written for AC to AC conversion. For AC to AC conversion, all four modes are required. All four modes are required. So all four modes are required means what? That triacs will be used for this. Triac will be used, but triac is having one limitation, that is, it can be used for low power applications, like fan regulators we use triac. Okay, so it can be used for like low power application. For high power for high power application, we have to use combination of different devices. We have to use combination of different devices to have all four modes. Okay, so in that we can control this AC to AC. I mean, we can do AC to AC conversion. Okay, but the requirement remains the same, that it requires all the four modes. Now for AC to DC conversion, AC to DC conversion. So in case of AC to DC conversion, you will be requiring forward blocking, forward conduction, and you do not require the reverse voltage. So reverse blocking is required. Reverse blocking is required. Okay, so basically for AC to DC conversion we can say that three modes are required. Three modes are required. So three modes are can be uh, supplied by or they can be supported by SCR, right? This SCR will support all these modes and can be used in AC to DC conversion. Now if if there is a requirement of high switching, okay, so then SCR is of high power handling capability and low switching, then we have to use some combination of other which will support these three modes. Okay, the best use is SCR, right? We can vary the average value. We can vary the average value, like uh, if this is our supply, then we will get somewhat of this kind of supply, and for the rectifier purpose we convert this also. So accordingly we can change the alpha, the firing angle value, and get desired value, desired average value, right? For DC to DC conversion three modes are required. Now for DC to DC conversion, for DC to DC conversion, for DC to DC conversion two modes are required, that are forward blocking and forward conduction. Forward blocking and forward conduction, these are the modes that is required. ठीक है, हमको रिवर्स ब्लॉकिंग वगैरह नहीं चाहिए इसमें. ठीक है, so because it is only DC, there will be no reverse thing, right? So there will be no requirement also. So examples for this I mean the used devices are BJT, IGBT, MOSFETs, right? In chopper we will use this. ठीक है, DC to DC conversion means what? Chopper. ठीक है, SCRs भी use कर सकते हैं for high power levels. SCR, GTO, these will be used for high power levels. Okay, and these will be used for high switching speed. High switching speed. Okay, so here we can use triac, but see, for triac it can handle low power applications, right? And if we consider its switching, we have other devices like BJT, MOSFET for higher switching speed also. So we have better alternative in any case. We have SCR and GTO for higher power levels, and we have BJT, MOSFET for higher switching speed. So here triacs won't be usable, right? So we won't be using triacs here. Now the last one is what? Inverters, that is DC to AC conversion. DC to AC conversion. So DC to AC conversion means inverter. We have two types of inverter. First is voltage source inverter, voltage source inverter, and current source inverter, and current source inverter. So in voltage source inverter, the voltage will be what? Of the fixed value. Okay, it will not be going in the reverse direction, so we won't be requiring the reverse blocking category here, right? So here the three modes that are required are forward blocking, forward conduction, reverse conduction. And for current source, the modes required are forward blocking, forward conduction, and reverse blocking, because here the source is current, so there will be no reverse current, right? So as this mode requires reverse current, so we will be using RCT and ASCR. So as you if you know about ASCR, or you will be learning ASCR, so ASCR will be used with a diode basically, because ASCR does not support this reverse current mode. Okay, but it is used with certain combination of diode, so to support reverse current. Okay. And for current source inverter, what is here, these modes are supported by SCR simply. So here SCR will be used. Now in case of AC to DC conversion, there is basically two types. One is phase controlled rectifier and other one is uncontrolled rectifier, which I forgot to tell you. Uncontrolled rectifier. Uncontrolled rectifier means what? Using diodes. Okay, so diodes will supporting only two modes, that are forward conduction, reverse blocking. There will be no forward blocking. So in that, average voltage is constant. We don't require that in power electronic much, that much. Okay, so we will be talking about uncontrolled rectifier, but on a very low scale basically. So here in uncontrolled rectifier, diode will be there, because in this case average voltage is going to be constant. So this is about the switches part. So that will be all for this lecture. We will meet in the next lecture and continue this topic. Thank you.